Today we are going to learn tenses. Why do we have to learn tenses? Learning tenses help us to use appropriate verbs and speak according to the time of action. Making sense with tense. There are some prerequisites to learning tenses. So before we start this topic, one should have the knowledge of helping verbs, which are also called auxiliaries, main verbs or finite verbs, verbs and their forms, subject of a sentence, subject verb agreement. Now let us see what are helping verbs. Helping verbs are also called as be form verbs, that is, the form of be. Example: am, is, was, are, were. I am a dentist. Here, am is a form of be or being. There are other helping verbs such as have, has, had, which are used to denote the time of action. While have and has is used in present perfect tense, had is used in past perfect tense. One should remember that have, has, and had do not indicate possession in tenses like I have an umbrella. So here have is not a helping verb. Have, has, and had may hold the position of the main verb. Example: I have had my dinner just now. Here, had is the main verb and have is the helping verb. So, we have completed helping verbs. Now, let us learn more about main verbs. Main verbs or finite verbs take the main or the important role in the sentence. Example: I go to piano classes on Sundays. The action is clearly expressed here, but non-finite verbs shouldn't be mistaken for main verbs. For example, my teacher told me to read the poem. Here, told is the main verb and not read, because read is the infinitive. Let's read some more examples. Reading is fun. Though read is a verb, in this sentence, reading functions as a noun and is also called gerund. Give me the writing pad. Here, writing is a verb, but in this sentence, it functions as an adjective and therefore called the participle. So we have completed main verbs or finite verbs. Now let us go to verbs and their forms. There are three main forms of verbs: the present, as in take; the past, as in took; the past participle, as in taken. Now, in order to master tenses, one has to master the verb forms too. So, after we have completed verbs and their forms, let us understand the subject of a sentence. What is the subject of a sentence? Whatever, whoever we speak about is the subject of the sentence. Example: the car is sent for repair. Now we are talking about the car. So therefore it is the subject. It is called the subject of the sentence. Now why do we need to learn what subject is? Because the subject decides which verb form we use in the sentence. The subject needs to agree with the verb. Now that we have understood what subject is, let us now understand the subject and the verb agreement. Read this sentence. All these are contextual exercises. Madhav have a race car. He likes to drive it. One day I will or does become an F1 motorist. Said Madhav often. Now when we look at the sentence, Madhav has a race car is the appropriate one. We cannot use have over here because Madhav is the name of a person and a singular. Likewise, he likes to drive it. One day I will become an F1 motorist, says Madhav often. The dancing troupe is ready for yet another show. They will travel Europe this time and perform in many countries. The dancing troupe. Troupe is the collective noun of this group, dancing group, and therefore the verb is singular. They will travel. Since it's a future action, we need to use the present tense here and perform in many countries. Let's read some more examples. Rahul Dravid threw the ball at the batsman. The batsman was ready and hit the ball with full force. But alas, he could not make a run. The spectators cheered Rahul. The sentence is in past tense and therefore we have chosen past verbs in past form. I remember I had sent him a letter long back. I haven't received any reply from him yet. Do you think he must have forgotten me? Now let us analyze the sentence. I remember I had sent him a letter long back. Long back denotes that the action had been done quite a long time ago. It's a past of past, and therefore we need to write had sent. Has is inappropriate. I haven't received any reply from him yet denotes that the action is being spoken about in the present time, and therefore I haven't received. Do you think he must have forgotten me? This also refers to the present action, and therefore we need to use have and the past perfect form forgotten. The verb we use in a sentence depends on the subject of the sentence. For a singular subject such as he or any name like mother, we need to use singular verb like is, was, has, begins, shows. For plural subject such as they or the children, we need to use plural verb. Example are, were, have, began, showed, etc. Now, when the sentences are joined with joining words like and, we need to use plural verb. Joining words like either or, neither nor carries the singular verb. Collective nouns like bundle or troop carries the singular verb. When we use titles of movies or books, we must use the singular verb. Words like all, most, much carries the plural verb, and words like each, every takes the singular verb. Let's see these examples. Please choose the correct answer. The bird dash itself on the tree. It dash dash of the hunter. When the hunter dash away, the bird dash away into the sky. The bird perched itself on the tree. It was scared of the hunter. When the hunter went away, the bird flew away into the sky. Everyone dashed up and dashed a standing ovation to the speaker. She dash a wonderful speech, said many. Indeed, she dash the audience with her words. Everyone got up and paid a standing ovation to the speaker. She has made a wonderful speech, said many. Indeed, she has spellbound the audience with her words. We use has, made, and has spellbound here because it is a recent action that is being spoken about. When Ria reached the theatre, she dashed that many people dash in a queue. They dash eager to watch the movie. Inside the theatre, the crowd dash enjoying the movie. When Ria reached the theatre, she saw that many people were waiting in a queue. They were eager to watch the movie. Inside the theatre, the crowd was enjoying the movie. By this time next week, I will have given this gift to my friend and she will have said thank you. I might come to your house if I get a chance to visit Chennai. Then we can visit the Central Library, said Radha. Do you know where he lives? Asked Shalini. I'm not sure. I think he has shifted to Kerala, replied Arav. Fill in the blanks with these verbs that are in the bracket. Annie and her brother are at school. Either Ram or Shyam is coming to the meeting. Now, why did we use are in the first sentence and is in the second sentence? In the first sentence, the words Annie and brother or the subjects Annie and her brother are joined by the conjunction and therefore we use are. Either Ram or Sham. When we use either or, we need to use a singular verb. George and Lara don't want to watch the movie. One of my sisters is going on a trip to Paris. Here, one of my sisters carries the singular verb is because we are talking about one sister out of the many sisters. Each of the passengers in the flight was given a complimentary snack. My friend and I usually meet once a week. Oil and water do not mix. Oil does not mix with water. Neither Bhima nor Gauri has gone to the field today. Congratulations! Now you have learnt helping verbs, finite verbs, verbs and their forms, subject of a sentence, subject verb agreement. Now you are ready to learn tenses. Tenses are of three types: present, past, and the future. The present tense again is divided into four types: simple present, present continuous, also called as progressive tense, present perfect tense, and present perfect continuous tense. The past tense again consists of four types: simple past, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous tense. While the present and the past tenses consist of four types, the future tense consists of three types: simple future, future continuous, and future perfect. Now let us understand the present tense. Simple present tense. Tom Cruise is a popular actor. Now imagine you are interviewing him and you wonder how he maintains such a good physique. You are the interviewer and you ask, how do you maintain such a good physique? What is your workout plan? And Tom Cruise replies, I focus on weight training. I go to the gym regularly and I don't miss on treadmill running and fencing. Your next question is, what diet do you follow? And Tom replies, I consume vegetables, fruits, salads, and grilled foods. I take protein and other supplements necessary for my body and also keep a check on carbs. Very importantly, I drink plenty of water to keep myself hydrated. Pay attention to the words maintain, focus, go, miss, consume, take, keep, and drink. In this context, the actions of Tom Cruise happens on a regular basis. The actions are never fully complete. They are bound to recur or happen repeatedly. Therefore, the tense used is simple present. You can also click on this link below and watch Shilpa Shetty's interview in which she has used simple present tense. Present continuous tense. Just imagine you are at home and you could be doing anything like preparing for exams. You get a call from a friend. Your mom picks up the call. What would your mom say? She's preparing for exams? And what could be the other probable responses? She's bathing, she's having lunch. Notice the verbs used here: is preparing, is bathing, and is having. In this context, the speaker is present during the time of the action and is observing the actions of the doer. The doer of the action and the speaker could be the same. For example, I am reading a storybook, or different, as in the example sentences used above. Therefore, the tense used is present continuous or present progressive. Let us read these examples. This is a conversation between a teacher and a student. The teacher asks, "Have you done your homework?" The student replies, "Yes, I have," or "No, I haven't." Raj says, "I have posted my aunt's wedding invitation. Did it reach you?" And Adi replies, "No, it hasn't reached yet." Here, the action of posting the letter is done, but not reaching. In present perfect tense, the actual purpose of the action is usually not realized. Example, I have begun working on the project. It means the project work has just begun or started. In these contexts, the actions have started and have completed in part or full in the near past, but the outcomes of actions are still continued in the present. This is present perfect tense. Let us understand present perfect continuous tense. Nikhil says, "What are you thinking about?" Ram replies, "It has been raining since morning. I don't know when it would stop. I need to go to the bank today." Anika says, "I see Radha often at your house." And Adya replies, "Yes, she has been coming to my house quite often these days. She has become my sister's good friend." Bharat says, "Amit, your team has not yet finished the assignment." And Charan replies, "Yes, I agree that they have been working on the assignment for too long now. It might take us another week to finish it." If you have noticed the verbs used here, has been raining, has been coming, and have been working, in these contexts, the actions have started and they are still continuing. They are likely to stop after a period of time. Present perfect continuous tense is a combination of present continuous and present perfect tenses. Let us first understand simple past tense. Look at these examples. Mrs. Beena bagged the first place in cooking competition. Everyone wanted to know how she had made such a delicious cake. Mrs. Beena replies, "First, I whisked the eggs with a beater, then I added sugar to it. After that, I blended in it butter and sugar. Later, I sieved the flour or flour with the baking powder and then added it to the mixture. After that, I placed it in a container and baked it for 30 minutes. Flour is pronounced as flour in British English and flour in American English. In this context, Mrs. Beena is narrating how she had baked the cake to her friends. This is a simple narration of an action that took place in the past. We use the simple past tense to narrate any incident, tasks, or stories. Now we go to past continuous tense. Read this example. Naina, the monitor of class 5A, was ready with a list of complaints when the teacher came in. She said, "Teacher, while you were away, the class was making a noise. Rita was singing loudly, and Sarita was writing on the board. Amir and Akhil were playing with pens. Notice while you were away." In this context, at a particular time when the action was being done, someone who was witnessing it is narrating the same to someone else in the present. In such cases, we use the past continuous tense. Let us now understand past perfect tense. Here are some examples. Kareem recalls an incident. "I had sent Ram Singh a letter long back. Since then, I haven't received any reply from him." Meena said, "I had been to the botanical garden once, but I don't remember seeing lilacs there." In the above context, Kareem and Meena recall an incident that happened in the far past or distant past, the consequence of which is seen in the present, or the action is linked to the present. The tense used here is past perfect tense. Now, how do we know when to use the simple past and past perfect? Have you ever been confused with present perfect and past perfect? Let us now understand the nuances. Pay attention to the example given. Nikki said, "Kathy stole my pencil." Here, Nikki believes that Kathy has stolen her pencil. She is sure that the action of stealing happened or that Kathy has performed the action of stealing. You must have come across this example in the previous video. Raj says, "I have posted my aunt's wedding invitation. Did it reach you?" Adi replies, "No, it hasn't reached yet." Here we are speaking about a recent action of which the consequence or the result is expected. While both simple past and present perfect refer to a recent past, in the case of simple past, we talk about a definite action which is complete in its full sense. In present perfect, the action done is linked to the present or even the future. Look at this example. Nikki said, "I thought Kathy had stolen my pencil, but she hasn't." Had stolen refers to a distant past and is connected to the present. Nikki realizes in the present moment that it isn't true. How do we understand the difference between present perfect and past perfect? Sri Sol on 4th April 2018 says, "I have posted the letter to my cousin just a while ago. I hope he receives soon." Here, the action takes place in the recent past and the speaker waits in anticipation about the posted letter. In 2018, Sri Sol says, "I had posted a letter to my cousin long ago, but I never received a reply." Here, the action which happened in 2016 is being spoken about in the present time. The action took place in the distant past. Just like present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous is a combination of past continuous and past perfect. The example in past continuous: "What were you doing then?" "I was watching a movie." In past perfect, "I had watched the movie long ago, but I don't remember the story." The combination of these two sentences could be, "I had been watching a movie when the doorbell rang." Let us read some more examples to understand this tense. Mr. Roy says, "I had been insisting my tenant to pay the rent on time, but he never did. So I asked him to vacate the house. If we use past perfect to convey the same, it would be I had insisted my tenant. Here the action of insisting has happened once. But in past perfect continuous, the action of insisting the tenant to pay the rent on time continued, continued for a period of time. Had been insisting refers to an action which took place in the distant past. Did and asked refer to an action that happened in the recent past. Unlike the present and past tenses, the future tense is quite simple to understand. Let us read these examples. Radha will become a storyteller. Misha is going to meet him soon. In the first sentence, will indicates a person's conviction, pursuit, a resolution, or just a plan of action. Whereas in the second sentence, is going to indicates that the speaker or the doer of the action has planned for the future action, has properly planned for the future action. Tina will be sharing her ideas with the team. Nishant will be coming here next month. In these sentences, the action sharing and coming is going to happen in the future. The action that has to take place in the future is being spoken about in progression, and for this we need to add be to will. Now let us understand future perfect tense. I will have completed this project by next March. The scientist will have found a solution to global warming by June this year. In both these sentences, an action in future has already begun in the present or past, and the speaker intends to complete the action by a particular time in future. Therefore, the tense used is future perfect tense. Now that we have understood the functions of tenses, let us just look at the rules for tenses. In order to understand or use simple present tense, we must know that the first form or the base form of the verb is used. Questions are made with do and negative forms are made with do not. In present continuous tense, am, is or are plus present participle is used. In present perfect, has, have and past participle is used. When we use has or have plus been plus past participle, we get the present perfect continuous tense. The simple past tense is formed using the second form of the verb. Did is used in making questions and did not is used to express negation. We can form past progressive tense using was or were with present participle. And past perfect is formed when we use had along with past participle. A sentence can be said to be in the past perfect continuous tense when we use had been plus present participle. In future tense, will is the common modal verb that is used. In simple future, will plus verb is used. Or am or is or are plus going to plus verb is used. A sentence is said to be in the future continuous or progressive tense when we use will be plus present participle. When we use will have and past participle, the sentence is said to be in the future perfect tense. Here are some more examples using the first, second and third persons. I hope these videos on tenses have been helpful. Thank you.